Welcome back to the Malbeefance channel, everybody, and this is episode 7 of our Strategic Command American Civil War series replay. For those of you who may be new to the channel, you'll catch on pretty quick as to where we are in the war and all of that. For those of you that have been following along, thank you very much. And let me bother you now with this. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, help grow the channel. Very much appreciated. All right. So with that out of the way, just two admin things I want to go over real quick. By request, the Lunar B Division has been changed to the 15th Wisconsin Division. And as you can probably see, Kentucky has joined the war. That happened last turn, and I've deployed several divisions into central Kentucky, central and northern Kentucky, instead of deploying them over here at Cairo, simply because I didn't have anything over here, and I need to stop the Confederate advance up through central Kentucky. All right, so with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and advance a turn, see what we get. All right, what do we get? All right, so those gunboats are going to go to the Mississippi River. I need a lot more reinforcements down there for my plan on taking out some of the forts. We're still blockading the Hampton Roads. All right, so Lieutenant General Winfield Scott retires as commanding general of the U.S. Army. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with General Scott. If George Washington is the father of the United States, General Winfield Scott is the father of the professional United States Army. Okay, prior to General Scott, training, that sort of thing was pretty hodgepodge, varied from state to state, location to location. General Scott, in my opinion, is arguably one of America's greatest generals. He had the nickname of Old Fuss and Feathers because he was a stickler for discipline and military appearance. Okay, and during his time, the Army was mostly volunteers. Okay, but he helped turn it into an effective fighting force by standardizing Army drill regulations, and he led Army units in the War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, even in the U.S. Civil War, obviously. He was commanding general of the U.S. Army up until this moment when he retires. He did get to see the end of the Civil War. He passed away in 1866 at the age of 79. This man was a general for 47 years out of his 53-year career. Okay, so much respect. If you haven't checked him out, please do so. Read up on his history. An incredible character. Incredible person, excuse me. All right, Union develops leadership level 1. We definitely need it for our generals. And there is our ledger for the up and coming turn. That computer is calculating supply for the upcoming Confederate turn. All right, what has it got for us? All right, so there's General Polk has moved into Hopkinsville. What else you got for me? So now there's still, well, I won't say that there's not a lot of units. There are a lot of units, but it's going to get bigger. The armies are going to get a lot bigger. All right, so we're seeing some engagements going on here in Northern Virginia, but I don't know if you can see on the map the depiction of rain that is hampering movement and combat. So we still got fighting going on around Cairo, Confederate units trying to relieve the Cape, fighting going on out here around Fort Thorne. So we've lost Paducah, at least temporarily. Anything else? All right, so the Confederacy's going to pull that gunboat out of there. Bowling Green's been occupied. Some more units shifting around on the front. Anything else? That brigade's trying to work its way around to Springfield. All right, so the Carthage force is suffering from low supply. That's good news. We'll be able to clear them out of there pretty simple, I hope. Pro-Confederate bushwhackers cause disruption in Missouri. There's nothing I can do to stop this. Union warships blockading the Hampton Roads. And there is our blocking of Confederate convoy lines. Computer figuring supply for me this upcoming turn. All right, there's our activity summary for last turn. It also breaks down how much supply we were able to interdict. Not exactly a whole lot. Intelligence finds Confederate Rangers out in Sherman, Texas. And here are some more of our infantry divisions coming online. Now, I probably ought to deploy these guys here along northern Virginia, but I'm going to put more out here in Kentucky. I have a feeling northern Virginia can hold another turn or two, but things are really heating up in Kentucky, so I need to get some more forces out here. All right, so the Pope HQ finally comes online. We'll deploy that at Frankfort, and he takes command of the Army of the Cumberland. Tortopaste Division, or Tortopasta Division, I'm going to deploy them here near St. Louis because I'm going to attach them to Halleck's Army of the Mississippi. And the misspelt 1st Kentucky Cavalry deploys. So there's Pope's max 5 units that he can control. All right, 1st Virginia Cavalry deploys at D.C. and the Sioux Indians deploy near Fort Belmont. All right, so we're over on this side of the map. Let's go ahead and move all the way out to the Western Territories, see what I can do there. Let's go ahead and try and do some damage to that Confederate cavalry unit. So 1 point each. Not great, but not bad. Move the brigade up into Santa Barbara so that I can go ahead and I can upgrade that regiment south of Perrier. Move down to the Gulf. See what we can do here on the Mississippi. See if we can take out that timberclad. Not a lot of damage. Alright, so he's down to 6 supply. So I'm going to move him into port to resupply. I should get a gunboat reinforcement next turn. Once I've got 3 to spare, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and take out this port. Or, excuse me, this fort. Now, do I have... Yes, I do. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Let me get the map back. Alright, so the gunboats I'm going to have come down and relieve the frigate. Now I want the Colorado to come down here and they'll take over for the Minnesota. The whole idea is just to go ahead and relay race so that I can go ahead and I can get a frigate down here blocking this convoy route. But I need to delay because I want to do this. All right, so we get rid of the Confederate fort overlooking Beaufort. Now I'll upgrade Beaufort's lighthouse so they got better spotting range. cruise the Colorado into the port so they can resupply, and then they'll be able to relay with these two frigates so that they can get resupplied. Now I can take the Sabine and I can cruise them down to Cape Hatteras. All right. So now, as far as pointed out in the comments for last turn, I can put a unit, C unit here in Fort Monroe, and it'll cause damage to the port of Norfolk, and eventually that'll help with taking Tidewater. But right now I just don't have enough ships to go around, so that is a tactic that's going to have to wait a moment while I go ahead and get more ships. But it is a good suggestion. I just can't capitalize on it at the moment. All right, so let's go ahead and get some more of my Northern Virginia units upgraded. So now I know I'm exposing General Banks here by doing this, and I know his unit could come under attack, but I don't think they'd be able to generate enough damage to wipe him out. And you know, if General Banks does die, that's a risk I am willing to take. Whoop, wait a minute. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh, no, yeah, I do. He's already upgraded. That's the one I want to upgrade. So I'll reinforce the Marines, and hopefully next turn, with a prepared attack, they will be able to do a considerable amount of damage to the unit in Winchester. All right, so the Army of the Ohio is upgraded except for this guy, but I can't do any. He's too far away from supply. So let's get him closer to Sutton. I believe that is going to do it for over here on the Eastern Theater. I don't have any more ships. All right, so let's swing over here. Now I got a choice here in Kentucky. The ground is frozen, so movement is limited. I can either take the opportunity to go ahead and upgrade these units, get them to level 1 infantry equipment, or I can advance them to try and save Greensburg and Munfordville. But I can't get there in a single turn. So if they wind up, I know that there's Confederate forces in Glasgow, possibly. We know there's somebody in Bowling Green. They could move up and they could occupy the towns. And then because these guys are going to be adjacent to an enemy unit, it's going to be that much more difficult for me to get them upgraded. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade them now. Because it looks like I'm going to wind up losing the towns anyway. But at least this way, these units are upgraded, and I have a feeling that they're going to be squaring off against brigade-size units, maybe 1 or 2 infantry divisions, but mostly they're going to be squaring off against infantry brigades, and with level 1 infantry equipment, they're going to make short work of them. So even if the Confederates are able to take the towns, I'm just going to take them back. And it's not going to be that difficult. So let's go ahead and get this riverboat down here. I want to block this road. And hey, hello General Polk. All right, so now I got him cut off from moving back over here and supporting his forces. So that was good. I'm going to leave the timberclad in the port here so that he can continue to block. Now, General Grant's forces. Do I reinforce? Well, I'm going to do a common... what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to upgrade some, and I'm going to reinforce others. Combination. There's the word I'm looking for. Combination. All right. So my odds against this brigade, the one in the south here, are better than my odds against the unit in the Cape. And the unit in the Cape is eventually going to be suffering from supply shortages. So let's go ahead and try and get rid of this unit first. Get Halleck a little closer to the troops, help support them. Get that regiment down here to help support Halleck. Got to remember he's all the way up here. Move him next turn. Alright, so I wasn't able to wipe this unit out, but they are heavily damaged, and they are also very short on supplies. So that brings us to General Freeman and the siege at Carthage. See what kind of odds we got. Alright, so let me attack with the cavalry first, see if we can't take him out of there. Now, I'm not doing as much damage as I had hoped. Alright, so it took everybody, but we got him. Start moving to encircle the unit there in Joplin. Go ahead and attack that Confederate unit because they're exposed. They're low on supply. Now, this brigade was probably the unit that was garrisoning Carrollton, Arkansas, but there may be another unit in there. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a unit either in Pea Ridge or Fayetteville. General Price is out here somewhere. And then Indian General With, he's got to be out here somewhere too by now. So we'll see. All right, so it looks like that's going to do it for the Western Theater. We've already taken care of the Far West. I think that's pretty much everybody. Yep. All right, so check research. I've got 200 points available. So I got to keep pushing leadership. These are Union generals. So that maxes that out. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to purchase the siege artillery now while I got the chance. Get them in the works. The siege artillery is going to become very important once I get around the defensive works of Richmond. Hopefully I'll be able to deploy one or two out to the Central Theater as well for Nashville and the forts working down the Mississippi River. So that's going to use up all of my points. My production points. There's only 61 left. All right. So we'll bank the rest. Once again, that's pretty much going to do it for this turn. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in. If you've made it this far and you haven't already, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And this this one turn went a little bit long. Um, so I know it's only going to be less than 25 minutes for this episode, but I don't want to run into another turn and have it go real long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short, and hopefully we'll be able to upload it today. And I will see you on the next one.